Hello, this is Karen Yip, broker owner of Yip Premier Real Estate. On this week's episode of Yip Real Estate Roundup, the topic is, are you really ready to become a homeowner? 3 things to consider when you're thinking about entering the market as a potential homeowner. The first one is, what is your 5-year plan? What I mean by this when I say 5-year plan is, real estate by nature is a long-term investment. So with a long-term investment, you really have to be ready to commit and set down some roots. The second thing to consider when thinking about coming into the market is, are you and have you been fiscally responsible? What I mean by that is, have you set aside some funds for a down payment? Secondly, with the recession having occurred, banks are harder on potential borrowers nowadays. So minimum credit score of 640, pretty much across the board for the most part. And then finally, they're going to want to know, have you been gainfully employed for the past 2 years? Finally, the last thing to consider when potentially entering the market is, how bad do you want it? What I mean by this is, the buying process can be involved. Applying for a loan, finding a house, going through the negotiations can be an involved process, as I mentioned. However, it doesn't have to be if you select the right agent. But seriously speaking, additionally, it's important to remember that home ownership is a privilege and not an entitlement. In the end, if you're willing to commit and go through the process, you'll be able to experience the pride of home ownership. And if you work towards something, you appreciate it more. And if you appreciate it more, you will work on becoming a good homeowner. A good homeowner is somebody who maintains their home properly and may improve upon its value over the years. So then, 5 years later, you contact your favorite agent, you get them to put it on the market for you. It will make your life and your agent's life that much easier because it will be the first house that will sell. I hope you have found this information to be helpful, and please stay tuned for the next installment of Yip Real Estate Roundup. The topic will be, so you're ready to buy.